Step inside Eastern State Penitentiary, a place whispered about in hushed tones. Its imposing Gothic architecture doesn't just house history, it guards secrets that chill the soul. Opened in 1829, it wasn't just a prison but a revolutionary experiment in penal reform, pioneering the controversial Pennsylvania system of solitary confinement. Inmates lived in complete isolation, their days marked by silence so profound it was intended to force reflection and penitence. But for many, it bred madness. The silence, however, was never truly empty. The walls absorbed the despair, the fear, and the suffering of thousands, leaving an indelible psychic imprint. Famous inmates like Al Capone were held here, their stories adding to the penitentiary's grim notoriety. But beyond the famous faces, countless anonymous lives were broken. The extreme isolation and sensory deprivation often led to severe psychological disturbances, hallucinations, and a complete breakdown of the human spirit. This was not rehabilitation. Over the years, staff and visitors have reported inexplicable phenomena, disembodied voices, chilling footsteps, shadowy figures, and cold spots that defy rational explanation. The radial design, with guard stations at the center, allowed for constant surveillance. Yet, secrets persisted, hidden within the very stones and shadows of these corridors. Prisoners deemed insane were often kept in horrific conditions, their cries suppressed by the thick stone walls. Their suffering undoubtedly contributed to the prison's dark energy. Visitors describe hearing whispers when no one is near, the sound of cell doors slamming shut, or even faint screams echoing from empty chambers. These are the prison's voices. Many have reported seeing dark, fleeting shapes in their peripheral vision within the cell blocks and tunnels. These apparitions are often described as tall and unnerving. The prison's infirmary, a place of sickness and death, is said to be particularly active. Nurses and patients alike have reported paranormal encounters within its sterile walls. Sudden, unnatural drops in temperature are frequently experienced, even on warm days. These chilling sensations are often accompanied by an overwhelming feeling of dread. The true horror lies in the lives of those who suffered within these walls, their isolation so complete that their spirits may never have left, trapped in an eternal loop. Even former guards have shared unsettling stories. They speak of feeling watched, hearing phantom footsteps, and experiencing equipment malfunctions that seemed almost deliberate. Though not designed as a death row, executions did occur. The trauma of capital punishment adds another layer to the penitentiary's already heavy psychic atmosphere. This specific block is notorious for its heightened paranormal activity. Visitors often report feeling watched, touched, or hearing spectral whispers in these particular cells. One of the most famous alleged hauntings involves a face appearing in the wall of a specific cell. Is it a trick of the light or a glimpse of the past? The legend speaks of a former inmate who died in his cell and whose tormented spirit remains, forever pacing the confines of his eternal prison sentence. During filming for 12 Monkeys, actor Bruce Willis reportedly unexplained phenomena, adding a touch of Hollywood skepticism, challenged by the penitentiary's supernatural reputation. Tales exist of a shadowy figure often seen in the administration building, believed to be the spirit of a former warden who still oversees his domain. Investigators have captured electronic voice phenomena, unexplained voices on recordings, suggesting the prison's past occupants are still trying to communicate their stories. One cell is particularly known for the sound of childlike laughter, a disturbing phenomenon given the lack of children ever housed within these grim walls. A wandering spirit is often reported, a presence felt walking the corridors and even brushing past visitors. This entity seems restless, unable to find peace. A former gardener is said to haunt the exercise yards, where he was tragically killed. His spectral form is occasionally glimpsed tending to the desolate grounds. Inside the infirmary, one particular bed is frequently associated with paranormal activity. Visitors report feeling cold, sensing a presence, or even seeing figures sitting there. Another cell is known for the pervasive sound of sighing, a mournful exhalation that seems to emanate from the very structure, filled with centuries of despair. In the historic hospital wing, a phantom band is sometimes heard, faint strains of music, perhaps from a long-forgotten concert or a patient's memory. The construction itself, with its labyrinthine corridors and hidden spaces, seems to harbor entities. Shadows in Eastern State Penitentiary feel deeper, more watchful. Ghost hunters and paranormal researchers flock to Eastern State, equipped with cameras and EMF meters, hoping to capture definitive proof of the spirits within. Auditory phenomena include the sound of a dog barking or howling, a disembodied sound that startles visitors and points to an animal spirit's presence. Certain areas, like the Central Rotunda, act as a whispering gallery where sounds travel unusually. Some believe this amplifies the spectral conversations. Cell Block 4 is infamous for a specific spectral inmate, often described as a man sitting on his bunk or pacing in his cell, eternally restless. Beyond specific sightings, many visitors report an overwhelming sense of unease, melancholy, or dread that permeates the atmosphere, a collective weight of past suffering. Archbishop Patrick Ryan was supposedly executed here, and his ghost is said to haunt the prison chapel, a poignant reminder of faith and despair. While Capone's cell is preserved, it's often reported as having its own unique energy, with some claiming to feel his presence, or even see objects move. Occasional spectral sounds of clanking chains have been reported, a chilling audio reminder of the harsh physical restraints imposed upon the inmates. The spectral warden of old is sometimes cited in the administrative areas, a stern, watchful figure, perhaps still making his rounds in the afterlife. Despite no known child inmates, stories persist of hearing a child crying or laughing in certain isolated areas, a deeply unsettling and unexplained occurrence. The very stones of Eastern State seem to hold captive the echoes of the past. Listen closely, and you might hear the walls themselves whispering secrets. The definitive sound of footsteps walking on concrete floors is often heard, particularly at night, when the penitentiary is empty and silent, or so it seems. The operating theater within the infirmary is a focal point. Doctors and patients alike have reported apparitions and unexplained events occurring in this grim space. Within Cell Block 12, a specific shadowy entity is frequently reported, an oppressive presence that looms and unnerves those who enter. Visitors sometimes report feeling a cold touch or a brush against their arm by unseen hands, a startling and intimate encounter with the spectral world. Even the former library is said to be haunted, with spectral figures seen browsing shelves or sitting at reading desks, trapped in intellectual pursuits. The profound suffering endured here has left an energetic residue. The penitentiary resonates with an echo of anguish, a palpable emotional weight in the air. Cell Block 5 is known for a specific apparition, often seen at the end of the corridor, a fleeting glimpse of a figure that quickly vanishes. Some visitors feel a constant sense of being followed or accompanied, as if an unseen entity has attached itself, walking alongside them through the halls. Historical records indicate countless deaths within these walls, each one a potential source of lingering spiritual energy and unresolved earthly attachments. The jarring sound of a cell door slamming shut, often when no one is around, is a common auditory hallucination that sends shivers down the spine. The pervasive atmosphere is one of profound sadness and regret. The penitentiary seems to emanate a collective sorrow that affects all who enter. These are not just stories, they are testimonies of individuals who have experienced the unsettling reality of Eastern State Penitentiary's persistent, spectral inhabitants. The penitentiary stands as a monument to a dark chapter in penal history, where suffering and isolation bred not reform, but profound despair and perhaps the afterlife. Eastern State is more than just decaying stone and iron. It's a place where the echoes of lost souls seem to resonate, a truly haunted testament. A constant feeling of being watched permeates the penitentiary. Whether it's the living or the dead, something or someone is always observing from the shadows. The legacy of solitary confinement continues to haunt the halls. Each empty cell seems to hold an echo of the isolation, the fear, and the despair. The stories of Eastern State Penitentiary often venture beyond the realm of scientific explanation, hinting at a spiritual dimension connected to its tragic past. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, Eastern State Penitentiary undeniably forces reflection. It's a powerful reminder of human suffering, innovation, and the shadows we leave behind. The chilling tales and unexplained phenomena suggest that the spirits of Eastern State Penitentiary are not merely memories, but active presences still trapped within its walls. Eastern State Penitentiary remains a site of intrigue, terror, and historical significance. Would you dare to explore its haunted corridors and confront its spectral residents? Have you experienced anything strange at Eastern State, or do you have your own theories about its hauntings? Share your stories and theories in the comments below.